गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्बा त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथासम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णोः पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकविवर्जितः। गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्भसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनम्। गीतासु गीता कर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिसृता भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्राद्विनिसृतं गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकीपुत्रगीतमेको देवो देवकीपुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा। शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणीन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। मन्दारगन्धसंयुक्तं चारुहासं चतुर्भुजं बर्हि पिच्छावचूडाङ्गं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं रुक्मिणीकेलिसंयुक्तं पीताम्बरसुशोभितम् अवाप्ततुलसीगन्धं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् उत्फुल्लपद्मपत्राक्षं नीलजीमूतसन्निभं यादवानां शिरोरत्नं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। अस्तु, लक्ष्मीनारायण महोदय पठितुम् इच्छति वा?
आं महोदय, श्रूयते वा?
सो श्रूयते श्रूयते।
गतसप्ताहे अन्तर्जाल समस्या आसीत्, बहुवारं क्विट्।
चिन्ता मास्तु। सो 21st श्लोक।
21st हरिः ओम्। यो यो यां यां तनुं भक्तः श्रद्धयार्चितुमिच्छति तस्य तस्याचलां श्रद्धां तामेव विदधाम्यहम्। यः यः यां यां तनुं अनुस्वारसन्धि भक्तः श्रद्धया अर्चितुम् इच्छति तस्य 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 अचलां श्रद्धां ताम् एव विदधामि अहम्। यः यः हेलो हरि ओम्।
पदपरिचयं।
पदपरिचयं। यः यः इस क्या यत् यत् शब्दः प्रथमपुरुषः एकवचन यां या द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनमेव,
स्त्रीलिङ्गं।
स्त्रीलिङ्गं यां। यत् शब्दः स्त्रीलिङ्गे द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचने। तनुं तनु तनु
उकारान्त
स्त्रीलिङ्ग द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं। भक्तः भक्तः भक्त एव
अकारान्त
पुल्लिङ्गः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं। श्रद्धयां श्रद्धया अर्चितुं श्रद्धया तृतीया विभक्ति एकवचन
स्त्रीलिङ्ग
आकारान्त स्त्रीलिङ्ग श्रद्धा आकारान्त स्त्रीलिङ्ग। अर्चितुं तुमन् अर्च धातोः तुमन् प्रत्यय इच्छति इष् धातु इच्छति परस्मैपद प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन प्रथमा पुरुष एकवचन। तस्य तत्शब्द पुल्लिङ्ग षष्ठी विभक्ति एकवचन। तस्य तस्य द्वितीयसे तदेव अचलाम् अचला अचला स्त्रीलिङ्ग आकारान्त स्त्रीलिङ्ग प्रथम द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचन। श्रद्धा श्रद्धा आकारान्त स्त्रीलिंग द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचन ताम सातेताः ताम तेताः सकार तत्शब्द स्त्रीलिंग द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचन एव अव्ययम् विदधामि विदधामि वि उपसर्गपूर्वक
धा धा धातु
धा धातु प्रथम पुरुष एकवचन मध्य उत्तम पुरुष एकवचन ददामि अहम् अस्मत् शब्द प्रथम पुरुष प्रथम विभक्ति एकवचन पदार्थः यः यः भक्तः यः यः भजनशीलः यां यां तनुं यां यां मूर्तिं श्रद्धया आसक्त्या अर्चितुम् आराधयितुम् इच्छति अभिलषति तस्य तस्य भक्तस्य ताम् एव तादृशीम् एव अचलां स्थिरां श्रद्धाम् आसक्तिं विदधामि करोमि। अन्वयः यः यः भक्तः यां यां तनुं श्रद्धया अर्चितुम् इच्छति तस्य तस्य ताम् एव अचलां श्रद्धाम् अहं विदधामि। तात्पर्यं यः यः भक्तः यां यां मूर्तिं श्रद्धया अर्चितुम् इच्छति अत्र
तस्य भक्तस्य
भक्तस्य अन्वये तु तनुं दत्तमस्ति अत्र मूर्तिं दत्तं किल
इति तात्पर्यं खलु
तात्पर्यं मूर्तिं श्रद्धया अर्चितुम् इच्छति तस्य भक्तस्य तादृशीम् एव स्थिरां श्रद्धाम् अहं करोमि। व्याकरणं संधिः यो यः 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 विसर्ग संधि सकार रेफा उकार गुणः श्रद्धया अर्चितुं श्रद्धया प्लस अर्चितुं सवर्ण दीर्घ संधि तस्याचलां तस्य प्लस अचलां सवर्ण दीर्घ संधि विदधाम्यहं विदधामि प्लस अहं यण संधि समासः अचलां न चला तां न तत्पुरुष कृदन्तः श्रद्धा श्रत् प्लस धा प्लस अंग भावे।
तो अत्र क्रियापदं
विदधामि अर्चिते इच्छति प्लस विदधामि द्वयो।
तो प्रथमम् इच्छति स्वीकर्यामः चेत् कर्तृपदं किं
भक्तः इच्छति
भक्तः
अर्चितुम् इच्छति
किं कर्तुम् इच्छति
अर्चितुम् इच्छति
कथम् अर्चितुम् इच्छति
श्रद्धया अर्चितुम् इच्छति
कम् अर्चितुम् इच्छति और काम् अर्चितुम् इच्छति
अत्र तनुं भक्तः तनुं श्रद्धया अर्चितुम् इच्छति
यां तनुम् अर्चितुम् इच्छति तस्य तां श्रद्धाम् अहं विदधामि।
तां श्रद्धां तामेव
तस्य तां श्रद्धाम् अहम् अचलां
अत्र भक्तः पुल्लिङ्गे अस्ति तस्य इति उक्तमस्ति एवमेव।
तो यः भक्तः श्रद्धया तनुम् अर्चितुम् इच्छति तस्य भक्तस्य अहं विदधामि। कां विदधामि तां श्रद्धाम् एव विदधामि। कीदृशं श्रद्धाम् अचलां श्रद्धां विदधामि। So here in the previous shlokas we were discussing how the three kinds of people, one are Sukritinaha, the other kind, two kinds are there primarily, Sukritinaha and Dushkritinaha. So Sukritinaha are the people who do good deeds and they try to avoid doing bad things, whereas Dushkritinaha are people who indulge in themselves and do adharmika kriyas. So even giving in as simple as giving in to desires also they are called Dushkritinaha. They need not do major some very bad things, even give our bodily desires, all sukhas which are not shashvatam, even such indulgence in such things also, such people are called as Dushkritinaha. Among the Sukritinaha, we have discussed last week, there are of 4 types. And among the 4, Jnani is the best. So Jnani are one type. The other 3 are belong to another kind. The other 3, who are those other 3? Artinaha, Arthas, and who else are there in those? So those 3 come under one category, and Jnani comes under another category. Why? Because Jnani are the kind of people who worship or still do Upasana of the Paramatma, even after they have the Tattva Jnanam. So they don't have any Phalakanksha. Because they already have the Tattva Jnanam, they are not looking forward for any kind of Phalitam. But still they indulge them in Paramatma worship. Whereas the other 3, they also worship Paramatma, but they have a Phalakanksha. Some people do it because they are in some kind of difficulty. We discussed like Draupadi, in Gajendra Moksha, Gajendra. So all these people are in distress. So to come out of the distress, they need help. So they seek Paramatma's help. There is nothing wrong there. But the purpose of their worship, there is a Phalakanksha there. And the second kind are Artharthi, means they ask for some materialistic things. That also need not be necessarily a bad thing for survival. When somebody is doing some, they are living and leading a kind of life, they need certain things. For that, they worship Paramatma. And the third kind are Jignasuhu, those who want to attain Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. So that also, again, these are not bad things, but they have some Phalakanksha. Whereas the Jnani does not have Phalakanksha. Why? Because he already understands the Tattva Jnanam, Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, and he who understands it completely will never have this longing of Phalakanksha. He does not need anything because he now knows everything. Jnani is the most favorite to Paramatma. Without any Phalakanksha, he is worshipping Paramatma. That is what we studied in the earlier shlokas. So, and then among these Sukritinaha, we have another kind who worship, for example, for the Artharthi. They worship other deities, thinking that they are different from Paramatma, thinking that they only can give them the phalam that they want. Not realizing that it is Paramatma himself through this form of deity is giving them what they want. So these are different kind of people. They are not worshipping Paramatma directly. They are worshipping other deities, thinking these other deities are different from Paramatma. So when they worship, say for example, Goddess Lakshmi, they worship that by worshipping Goddess Lakshmi, they will be blessed with wealth. And they believe that it is Goddess Lakshmi that is giving them wealth. And this particular Goddess Lakshmi is different from Paramatma. That is because of their ignorance, because of they think that. But who is giving, when they worship Goddess Lakshmi with the Shraddha is the factor here. With complete Shraddha, if they worship her, they will get what they are seeking. But who is giving that to them? Paramatma himself
is giving in that form.
In that form, he is only giving. But that particular bhakta doesn't know that it is Paramatma only who is giving. He thinks that Lakshmi is giving, or Saraswati is giving, or Ganapati is giving, whomever he is worshipping, he thinks that that deity is giving him whatever he worshipped for, whatever he is seeking, and he looks at them differently. So, such people cannot reach Paramatma because they do not see him. They don't even see him. So that is why they are unable to reach Paramatma. So these are different kinds. So they follow the niyamani also. Whatever. Now there is a particular puja. Whatever niyamas are there, they follow the niyamas. But why are they following the niyamas? Not only for Shraddha, sometimes they follow the niyamas again for the Phalitam. whether they are afraid of the bad phalitam that they get if they do not follow that niyamam, or they might be looking forward for the good benefit that they get by following that niyamam. So say, for example, we have so many niyamams, like if you read the stotra for so many times, you will be blessed. The
Correct.
Palastuti is there.
Yes,
So
yes.
many people recite these stotras only for that Palastuti. They believe that whatever the Palastuti says, they will get that. So here, the niyamam that they are following is with some kind of phalakanksha. They have complete shraddha, but it is attached with this phalakanksha. Say, if, for example, that phalam is not mentioned, the phalastuti is not there. You simply recite this. What benefit will I get? Nothing. If we say that, how many people will actually recite those stotras? Not many people will recite the stotras, because for most people that benefit. Or if you do not read this stotra, something bad will happen to you. Such kind of fear is there, then also people will recite, because again they are there also, that phalakanksha is there. They don't want any negative or bad things happening to them. They want only good things happening, so they are reading like this. They follow the niyamani, but how are they following the niyamani? With the phalakanksha or without phalakanksha? That also is important. It is good that they are following the niyamani, but without phalakanksha, if they do, that is even better. So like this, we have people. And why are they following this niyamani again? Because their jnanam is compromised. So they believe that just by reciting, they will get some benefit. Whereas the truth is that that is not what it is. We have to understand the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. Just by reciting something without having any Paramatma Tattva Jnanam or any prayatna towards understanding the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, we are not going to attain anything. But we are not going to attain anything in the sense that which is permanent. But temporarily, whatever they are seeking will be given. That is what Paramatma is saying in this shloka and the previous one also. In the previous one.
7:18 also same. Asthita hi sa yuktatma mameva anuttamam gatim.
So Yuktatma is again different. He is constantly united with Paramatma. Okay, that Yuktatma is someone who is constantly united with Paramatma. So, and 21, right? So that is given in which shloka, Mahodaya?
7, 8, 9, 18, 18 I told actually.
Yuktatma.
18.
Yuktatma is somebody who is in constant dhyanam of Paramatma. Okay, such kind of person again is a jnani. Is a jnani. Why? Because he is completely, every second he is only thinking of Paramatma and Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. Such people are jnanis. They are all considered as jnanis. Whereas in the Sakritinaha, these people are not bad, but they have not realized Paramatma completely. So that is why they are still struggling. And though they are doing Satkaryas, why are they not able to see Paramatma? Why are they not realizing Paramatma? Why are they not able to understand that it is Paramatma that is there in everybody, in everything, in this Prakriti that is around us, in every Manushya, in every Prani, Paramatma is there. They are being told that so many times. So how come they are not able to see Paramatma in these other deities? Why are they not able to realize that these other deities are also none other than the Paramatma in this particular form? Why? Because of their ajnanam. Because of their ajnanam. And how does this ajnanam come? Through that trigunatmika maya. Because the sharira is also made out of these trigunas, and the prakriti is also made out of these trigunas, and the maya is also made out of these trigunas. So because of that, a person is unable to see Paramatma, because Paramatma is covered with maya. He is concealed.
Maya apakrita chetasa.
Yes. So to overcome this maya and see, now sun is there, a cloud comes over the sun. Sometimes it is so cloudy that we think, is the sun really there behind those clouds? The clouds are so dark that it is hard for us to believe that such a bright sun can be there behind these
behind the
clouds.
cloud. Yes.
Right? Sometimes we see it is very shining brightly. Suddenly there is no light. Why? Because this dark cloud has come over the sun. But is the sun there or not? He is there behind
He
the
is
cloud.
there.
That we have to remember constantly. We cannot think that, oh, sun is not there. Like that, here Paramatma is there in everything, but that Maya is covering him. And people who are not constantly trying to understand the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam are falling in that Maya, and they are unable to see the Paramatma behind this Maya. So they are not able to overlook this Maya. So that is what Paramatma is saying. So what happens to such people? That is what he is explaining. That is what is being explained here. So what happens to such people who they have the Shraddha, they follow all the niyamas, they perform all the rituals, they do worship the deities, but they are unable to see Paramatma in that deity. What happens to them? So this shloka says, Yaha Yaha Bhaktaha, that Bhakta who worships. Tanu means other forms of deities.
Deities.
Okay, other forms.
Normally, Tanu means we think body,
Sharira,
Sharir.
Sharira or Murti. Yeah, that is
Murti,
actually true. Sharira only. Here also it is meant in that way only. What kind of Sharira or Murti? The Murtis of other deities. They are only Murtis. Why? Because inside them also Paramatma only is there. It is only the form that is different, right?
Correct.
That is why it is the word Tanum is used. The word Tanum is used. Why? Because it is only a different form of Paramatma. What is inside is Paramatma only. Only the outward form. That Murti is different. That Murti sometimes can be Mahalakshmi, can be Saraswati, can be Ganapati, can be Anjaneya, can be somebody else. So that is why that word Tanum is used. To remind us that all these other deities in other forms are only forms of the Paramatma. So these bhaktas, whoever are worshipping these other forms with the Shraddha, to them, I will give the same Shraddha, Achalam Shraddham.
Achalam Stiram Shraddham.
So I will help them practice their worship with even more Shraddha. Even more, because they are making an attempt to worship these other deities with the Shraddha, because they are trying to worship them with the Shraddha. He will make sure that they will have that Shraddha. And with that Shraddha, when they worship, they will have whatever they are seeking will also be given to them. But they cannot
moksha.
They cannot obtain the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam because they are not seeking it. They are not trying to overcome that Maya and see the Paramatma. So that is what he can give. So whatever they worship for will be given. Will be given. So, and they think that, oh, I worshipped the Lakshmi. That is why Lakshmi gave me this. So they continue worshipping Lakshmi only. They don't realize that it is the Paramatma behind this Lakshmi who is giving me this. You know, sometimes we see in mothers trying to give their children through somebody else. When somebody visits, they will tell her brother visits, the mother's brother visits. Okay, so the child is there, he is expecting something from his uncle. So,
Yes,
but
yes.
he came empty-handed.
Only mama gave me, not.
Yes. So the mother will say, you know what, you give him this, he will feel happy. So he will think that, oh, my mama brought me this, and he will feel happy. He will believe that. And mother will let him believe that. Though she is the one who is giving, she won't compete and say, it is not your mama, it is me who gave you. She will not say, because he is happy right now.
Correct.
Later on, when the boy grows up, someday he will realize that it was his mother who did this and not the mama who actually gave. He might realize that at some point of time, right?
Correct.
Even if he doesn't realize, that is fine. Even if he realizes, he will have more respect towards his mom, so towards his mother. Similarly, also if we realize it is Paramatma who is giving us in these other forms, then it is easy for us to only focus on him rather than these other forms. These other forms can be there. See, sometimes we just like to look at Paramatma in different forms. That is how I always, tell myself. Because there are these other forms, for whatever reason, they indicate a particular thing.
In our puja room, so many deities will be there.
So many deities will be there,
Yes,
which
yes.
is also fine. Why? Because even we are a daughter to somebody, mother to somebody, sister to somebody,
Yes, yes.
You know, a classmate to somebody, a friend to somebody, a neighbor to somebody. So we are playing so many roles, and in each role we behave a little differently. We have different responsibilities, which is fine. But what is inside us is the same. What is inside us is the same. We don't expect everybody to look at us as their daughter. We only expect that from our parents. We don't expect everybody to look at us as their neighbor. To some, we are more than a neighbor. To some, we are strangers. Like that, that is fine. But as long as we know that it is only one entity that is behind all these forms, then I think it will be easy. So that is what is being said here. So even the Paramatma is not angry at all that that bhaktas are unable to see him in these deities. He will be giving them, but they will be there only. They will. They cannot make progress until they see beyond the physical forms of those other deities. So, so that is what we have covered in the previous class, and in this
19 श्लोकाल् बहूनां जन्मनामन्ते ज्ञानवान् प्रपद्यते वासुदेव सर्वमिति समहात्मा सुदुर्लभः.
So Vasudeva is the Sarva that we need to keep in mind all the time.
Always, yes.
The difficulty, especially when we are having a difficult time, we need to remember that, okay, whatever difficulty is coming our way, that also, you know, behind that also Paramatma is there. With that, we have to remind that it is difficult to remember that, especially when we are facing some difficult situation, or people, some people can be difficult with us. So when we are dealing with difficult people, it is difficult for us to imagine that Paramatma is in them, like in the Dhruva's story, right? In the Dhruva's story, Paramatma or Narada Maharshi says, you have to treat everybody equally. You have to look for Paramatma in everything and everybody. So, so he was able to practice that with everybody except for his stepmother, because he is having this little disappointment that she took him away from his father's lap. So he was unable to see Paramatma in her because he was still hurting. So such things, even for a person like Dhruva, who performed such a big tapas and all, even for him, it was difficult. And not only him, there are other great Maharshis who performed many penances, but even they faced or fell prey to such emotions. So that is okay. We will come across such situations, such difficult situations, but the only key to move forward is we have to keep reminding ourselves that there is Paramatma in them also. The reason why they are being difficult is because of their Purva Janma Sukrutas, and why we have to deal with them is because of our Purva Janma Sukrutas. We are in this situation where we have to deal with such a difficult person. Then if we think in that way, then we know that, okay, this will be resolved at some point. And the only way to get out of that is to somehow manage the situation and come out of it without, you know, without becoming negatively affected. Okay. So that is...
so this Vasudeva means not Vasudeva's son, actually. Vasuhu Devaha. Normally, we think Vasudeva means Vasudeva's Apatyam Paman Vasudevaha.
That only, no? Here also?
No. In earlier shloka, they have given that Vasanti Asmin Bhutani iti Vasuhu, Divyati iti Devaha, Vasuhu Devaha, Vasu Karmadharya Samasat, Vasudevaha iti.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
So we think Vasudeva is Vasudeva's Apatyam Paman, but it is given Narayana, they have given this specifically.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
but
madam.
both
In between, I interrupted. Sorry.
No. It is always good to know additional information. So, no worry. Astu. Dhanyavadaha, Mahoday.
Dhanyavadaha.
Anantaram Savitri Bhagini.
हाँ महोदय पठामि सतया श्रद्धया युक्तस्तस्याराधनमीहते लभते च ततः कामान् मन्यैव विहितां हि तां सः तया श्रद्धया युक्तः तस्या आराधनम् ईहते लभते च ततः कामान् कामान् मया एव विहितान् हि तान् सः प्रकारान्त पुल्लिङ्ग प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन तया तस्य तया ये स्त्रीलिङ्गः तया मया अव्ययं तस्य उकार एक स्त्रीलिङ्ग
तया is तद् शब्दस्य स्त्रीलिङ्ग
स्त्रीलिङ्ग श्रद्धया तृतीया विभक्ति स्त्रीलिङ्ग एकवचन युक्तः अकारान्त पुल्लिङ्ग युक्तः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन तस्य
क्त प्रत्यय of युज् धातु. It is prathama vibhakti ekavachana and pumlinga shabda only, but it is ktha pratyaya of yuj dhatu.
Okay. ktha pratyaya yuj dhatu. Tasya strilinga
pumlinga only. Tad shabdasya pumlinga shashti vibhakti ekavachana. Tasya only. It is not tasyaha.
Oh, tasya aradhana. Tasya. Tasya. Pullinga only. Isn't it? Tasya. Shashti vibhakti ekavachana. Aradhanam. Dvitiya vibhakti ekavachana. Ihate. Ih dhatu. Lit lakaraha. Is it correct? Ihte prathama vibhakti, prathama purusha. Labhate, lab dhatu, prathama purusha ekavachana, cha avyaya, tataha avyaya, kaman, tritiya vibhakti bahuvachanam, anya, kaman, maya eva. Maya tritiya vibhakti ekavachanam eva avyayam vihitan dha dhatu vihitan.
So ktha is it ktha pratyaya ya vihitan
ta dhatu.
So it is not dvitiya vibhakti bahuvachanam. So ktha pratyaya dvitiya vibhakti bahuvachanam, like patitavan, like that. Patitavan, not patitavan. So patitaha, patitau, patitaha, patitam, patitau, patitan, like that. Like Raman. So pumlinga dvitiya vibhakti bahuvachana.
Pumlinga dvitiya vibhakti bahuvachana.
Like tan.
He avyayam. Tan dvitiya vibhakti bahuvachana. Tad shabdasya dvitiya vibhakti.
So 1 second, here tasya aradhanam or tasyaha radhanam. We can do both ways. So we have to see here in the shloka whether it is ekavachana or bahuvachana. So here taya shraddhaya yuktaha saha tasya aradhanam ihate. So tasya aradhanam is the worship of the deities. So if we want to take it as deities, and all the deities have to be in strilinga, like all the three deities, then only we can use tasyaha, right?
Yes.
Tasyaha indicates a strilingam, but all the deities necessarily need not be stri murtis. Yes. Or maybe because murti is a strilinga shabda. Here the worship of the murtis was mentioned in the previous shloka. So for that reason, if we take it like that, then tasyaha will be fine.
Shashti vibhakti.
Shashti vibhakti ekavachana. Ah. Oh, it is ekavachana only. Tasyaha. Tasyaha is ekavachana only. So tasya or tasyaha, anything is fine. But if we take tasyaha, we have to mark it as strilinga and radhanam. If we take tasya aradhanam, then tasya will become pumlinga.
Oh.
One way to look at it is because Murti is given in the previous shloka, that people are worshipping, the bhakta is worshipping the Murti, which is in strilinga.
Yes.
So here tasyaha radhanam, if we take that
Tasya radhanam is he has given it separately. It is not continuation. There is no continuation.
Yes. So like that also we can take. That is what I mean. Okay. Anvayam.
पदार्थः सः सः भक्तः तया श्रद्धया तया आसक्त्या युक्तः संयुक्तः तस्याः एतस्य मूर्तेः राधनं सेवनम् ईहते करोति ततः च पश्चात् मया एव भगवता मया एव विहितान् दत्तानि तान् कामान् तानि फलानि लभते हि प्राप्नोति खलु अन्वयः सः तया श्रद्धया युक्तः तस्याः राधनम् ईहते ततः च मया एव विहितान् तान् कामान् हि लभते तात्पर्यं सः भक्तः तया आसक्त्या युक्तः सन् तस्याः देवतातनोः सेवनं करोति पश्चात् मया एव दत्तानि तानि फलानि प्राप्नोति व्याकरणं संधिः स तया सः प्लस तया विसर्गसन्धिः लोपः युक्तस्तस्याः युक्तः तस्याः विसर्गसन्धिः सकारः तस्या राधनं तस्याः राधनं विसर्गसन्धिः लोपः मयैव मया प्लस एव वृद्धिसन्धिः कृदन्तः राधनं राध प्लस ल्युट् भावे विहितान् वि प्लस धा हि इति आदेशः प्लस क्त कर्मणि तान् तावदेव
So here, what is the Kriya Padam?
Kriya Padam Radhanam.
Ihate. Ihate is one Kriya Padam. Labhate is the second Kriya Padam. So for Ihate means Karoti. It is given as Karoti. So Saha Bhaktaha Taya Asaktya Yuktaha San Tasyaha Devata Tanoho Sevanam Karoti. So, ihate. Kaha ihate?
Bhaktaha.
Saha ihate. Kidrishaha saha?
Shraddhaya.
Yuktaha saha.
Yuktaha tasyaha.
Yuktaha saha ihate. Yuktaha saha kim ihate or kam ihate?
Radhanam ihate.
Radhanam ihate. Kasyaha radhanam ihate? Tasyaha radhanam ihate. So yuktaha saha tasyaha radhanam ihate. Kaya ihate saha?
Taya shraddhaya.
Taya shraddhaya yuktaha. So here, kaya yuktaha saha ihate, shraddhaya yuktaha saha. So here shraddhaya should be connected to yuktaha rather than to ihate. Such things also we have to understand. So shraddhaya yuktaha, he equipped with or joined with the shraddha. He who is with the shraddha, he is doing. So here it can be somebody can doing something with shraddha, or he who is already with the shraddha can be performing something. So such small differences also we have to notice when we are trying to analyze the shloka. So here taya shraddhaya yuktaha saha. He who is equipped with that shraddha, he is performing the radhanam of the murti.
Murti. Yes.
Anantaram labhate. Another kriya padam.
Yeah.
Kaha labhate.
Pardon?
Kaha labhate. Here not given. We can take adyahritam of saha.
Saha labhate.
Saha bhaktaha labhate. Kam labhate or kan labhate.
Tan kaman. Vihitan tan kaman.
labhate. पुनः कीदृशः कामान् लभते?
Vihitan kaman.
विहितान् कामान्. केन विहितान्?
Maya eva.
मया एव विहितान् तान् कामान् सः लभते. Okay?
Yes.
So such a person who is performing the aradhanam or the radhanam with shraddha, to him or he will obtain whatever he is seeking, the kaman, whatever desires he has, will be given to him by me. Maya vihitan kaman saha labhate.
Yeah.
Tataha. Okay, because of this worship, he will obtain the desires or the whatever he is seeking, and that which is given by me. Maya vihitan kaman saha labhate.
Yes.
So this is the 22nd shloka. So the same, whatever we discussed earlier, the same continues. So that particular bhakta will receive whatever he is worshipping the deity for, though he does not realize whatever he is receiving is from Paramatma himself, but through this form. He does not realize that, but still he will receive what he worshipped for because of that shraddha. So first Paramatma will help that bhakta to attain more shraddha, and then with that shraddha, whatever worship he does, with whatever phalakanksha he has, that also he will give. If there is no shraddha, then Paramatma will not help him get more shraddha. Some people will be simply doing. They don't have any kind of shraddha. To them, there is nothing the Paramatma can help with. If the bhakta already has some shraddha, he will help them get more shraddha on that. And through that, he will also help them obtain what they are seeking.
Seeking. Yes.
So that prayatna from our side should be there. That shraddha, prayatna towards shraddha should be there initially from us. And then the Paramatma will help us. Like we have to do our effort. Like we cannot put the lamp in the wind and expect it to not go off. First, we have to take all the necessary precautions for the lamp or the deepam to protect it from the wind.
Yes.
Without putting in our effort to protect it, we cannot put it in the wind and ask Paramatma, you help for the deepam to not go off. We cannot do that. Similarly, here also, first the shraddha should be there from our side, and then Paramatma will help us obtain more shraddha. And with that shraddha, whatever we seek for and whatever worship we do will also be given to us by Paramatma himself.
Yes.
Anantaram, Surya Bhagini?
Madam, here there is Radhanam, Sevanam, Asti. Radhanam, Aradhanam, Samanam eva khalu?
Yeah, Samanam. In Aradhanam, we have A Upasarga. And here we don't have.
Won't have. So, okay. But meaning is the same.
Yes.
Thank you.
Radh Dhatu. Astu Bhagini, Surya Bhagini.
Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavatyalpamedhasam devam devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. Antavattu అంటే ఇది
అంతవత్తు పదవి భాగం.
అంతవత్తు తకారంతా ప్రథమ పురుష ఏకవచనం. తు అవ్యయం ఫలం ఫలం నపుంసకలింగం ప్రథమ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం.
Hmm.
తేషాం తద్శబ్ద సప్తమ విభక్తి బహువచనం.
షష్ఠి విభక్తి.
షష్ఠి విభక్తి బహువచనం.
Hmm.
తత్ తత్ భవతి.
Hmm.
తత్ తకారాంత ప్రథమ పురుష ఏకవచనం.
Hmm.
భవతి లక్లకారం పరస్మైపది ప్రథమ పురుష ఏకవచనం.
భూధాతు.
భవతి అయల్ప భవతి అల్పమేధసాం. అల్పమేధస్ వస్తుంది కదా, షష్ఠి బహువచనం. సకారాంత షష్ఠి బహువచనం. దేవాన్ దేవ శబ్ద అకారాంత పుల్లింగ శబ్దం, ద్వితీయ బహువచనం.
దేవ అకారాంత పుంలింగ ద్వితీయ విభక్తి
పుల్లింగ ద్వితీయ విభక్తి బహువచనం. దేవ యజః అకారాంత పుల్లింగ.
అగైన్ ఇక్కడ కూడా దేవ యజస్ సకారాంత
దేవ యజస్ సకారాంత ప్రథమ పురుష ఏకవచనం
బహువచనం.
యజస్
కదా సకారాంత శబ్దంలో మనకి బహువచనం వస్తుంది.
యాంతి ప్రథమ పురుష ఏకవచనం బహువచనం. ప్రథమ పురుష బహువచనం లట్లకారం. యాంతి అంటే
యాంతి యా ధాతు అంటే వెళ్ళడం, పొందటం కూడా.
యా ధాతువు. మద్భక్త సకారాంత ప్రథమ పురుష.
అకారాంత భక్తః ఏవ భక్తాః బహువచనే అస్తి. సో అకారాంత పుంలింగ ప్రథమ విభక్తి
బహువచనం. యాంతి మళ్ళీ యా ధాతువు
ప్రథమ
పురుష బహువచనం. మాం అపి అవ్యయం. మాం అస్మత్ శబ్ద షష్ఠి ఏకవచనం.
ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం. మమ అయితే షష్ఠి విభక్తి.
ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం. అపి అవ్యయం. పదార్థ అల్పమేధసాం అల్పమతీనాం తేషాం భక్తానాం తత్ ఫలం తు తత్ ప్రయోజనం తు అంతవత్ వినాశి భవతి సంపద్యతే. దేవయజః దేవారాధకాః దేవాన్ వివిధ దేవాన్ యాంతి ప్రాప్నువంతి. మద్భక్తాః అపి మదారాధకాః తు మాం యాంతి ప్రాప్నువంతి. ఇప్పుడు ఇది తు అంటే కు అని తీసుకోవచ్చును. కీ కూలా వస్తుంది అనుకుంటా కదా తు అంటేను. కీ కూలా వస్తుందేమో కదా షష్ఠి వచ్చినట్టుగా తు అంటే. మద ఆరాధకాః తు అంటే నా ఆరాధకులకు అన్నట్టుగా వస్తుందా.
తూ కెన్ బి టేకెన్ ఇన్ డిఫరెంట్ మీనింగ్స్ డిపెండింగ్ ఆన్ ద కాంటెక్స్ట్. ఒక్కొక్కసారి అది ఒక్కొక్క రకంగా మనం సందర్భాన్ని బట్టి ఉంటుంది. ఎవ్రీ టైమ్ తూ కెనాట్ హ్యావ్ ద సేమ్. బట్ అనే మీనింగ్ లో వస్తుంది, అయినా కానీ అన్నట్టు వస్తుంది, అది కూడా అనిస్తుంది అట్లా. సో ఇట్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ద కాంటెక్స్చువల్ మీనింగ్.
అన్వయః అల్పమేధసాం తేషాం తత్ ఫలం తు అంతవత్ భవతి. దేవయజః దేవాన్ యాంతి మద్భక్తాః అపి మాం యాంతి. తాత్పర్యం అల్పమతీనాం భక్తానాం తత్ ఫలం తు వినాశి భవతి. దేవాన్ ఏ ఆరాధయంతి తే తాన్ దేవాన్ ప్రాప్నువంతి. ఏ మాం ఆరాధయంతి తే తు మాం ఏవ ప్రాప్నువంతి. వ్యాకరణం. సంధిః భవత్యల్పమేధసాం భవతి ప్లస్ అల్పమేధసాం ఎన్ సంధి. దేవయజో యాంతి దేవయజః ప్లస్ యాంతి విసర్గ సంధిః. సకారః రేఫః ఉకారః గుణః. మద్భక్తా యాంతి मद्भक्ताः प्लस् यान्ति विसर्गसन्धिः लोपः समासः अल्पमेधसाम् अल्पमेधा येषां ते अल्पमेधसः तेषां बहुव्रीहिः समासान्तः असि च प्रत्ययः आसि च प्रत्ययः देवयजः देवान् यजन्ति कर्तरि विप्पुप्रत्ययः उपपदसमासश्च मद्भक्ताः मम भक्ताः षष्ठी तत्पुरुषः तद्धितान्तः अन्तवत् अन्त प्लस् मतुप्पु अन्तः अस्य अस्मिन् वा अस्ति
So अत्र क्रियापदानि कानि?
क्रियापदानि भवति यान्ति
यान्ति द्विवारम् अस्ति. So भवति किं भवति?
अन्तवत्तु
फलं प्रथमं फलं भवति. फलं कथं भवति और फलं कथं भवति? अन्तवत् भवति. फलं अन्तवत् भवति. केषां फलम् अन्तवत् भवति?
तेषां फलम् अन्तवत् भवति.
तेषाम् अल्पमेधसां फलम् अन्तवत् भवति. ikkada phalam. So here that phalam, whatever phalam the bhaktaha is seeking, that phalam is not shashvatam. Is not shashvatam. It is vinashi. It is vinashi means that which is not shashvatam. Basically, it will end at some point. So tesham alpamedhasam phalam antavat bhavati. So here alpamatinam bhaktanam tat phalam tu vinashi bhavati. So alpamatinam. Why are these people called alpamedhasam or alpamatinam? Because they are seeking something which is not permanent. So they are working so hard to get something which is not permanent. So that is why they are not jnanis. That is why they don't have buddhi. That is why they are called alpamedhasam. Those who do not have that buddhi or medhas. Devan ye aradhyanti te tan devan prapnuvanti. Ye mam aradhyanti te tu mameva prapnuvanti. So devayajah devan yanti. So who are devayajah? Devaradhakaha means people who worship other deities. People who worship other deities, that bhakta is called devayajah. Why? Because he is worshipping other deities. They will obtain those devatas. They will obtain those devatas. Obtaining those devatas means whatever. Adi atlanu vastundi. Here those who are ఇప్పుడు యజ్ఞం అన్నా it is like you are united with something. That is different. That yajna, that karma is different. So yujjadhatu to vachina yajaha is being united to something. So here these people are united to these other deities. వాళ్ళకి సంబంధం ఈ దేవతలతో పెట్టుకున్నారు. So devayajah. They are called devayajah. And what is they will obtain whatever they are worshipping these devatas for. Fine. But whatever they are obtaining, that phalam is not shashvatam. It is antavat, means vinashi, means it will end at some point. Whereas the sukham that one obtains by realizing the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, that is not antavat. That is shashvatam, shashvata sukham, akhanda sukham. We discussed that earlier also. So madbhaktaha, those people who, the bhaktas who are trying to realize me, who are worshipping for the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, they will reach me. So all other people who are unable to see Paramatma in everything, they will be getting what they are worshipping for. Whereas those who seek me, only me, they will reach me. So all the other people are unable to reach Paramatma. Why? Because they are not seeking him. They are not seeking the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. They are ending at these antavat phalam. They are asking for small things. So they are unable to reach out Paramatma because they are not putting in the prayatna for that. So whatever you worship for, that only will be given to you. Whatever you worship for, that only will be given to you. That is the saramsam here. So that is why a proper guru will always tell you not to ask anything. When we seek blessings of, in any temple or any worship place that you go, when we are seeking blessings, we only have to seek blessings. Give me what is best for me, because we only don't know what is best for us. We think we know, but in reality, we don't know. That is why people keep asking for all these things which are antavat. They don't last forever. So because we don't know, we ask for such things. What we have to ask is, you know better than me, you know what I need, you give me that. It could be strength to face whatever difficulty is coming our way. We don't know that we are even going to face some difficulty tomorrow. We don't know that. So we will be asking something else which is useless. Rather than that, what is useful? Because that difficulty is going to come our way tomorrow, which we are not aware of. If we say, whatever I need, the strength that I need to move forward in our lives, to reach towards our goal of reaching Paramatma, whatever I need, that you give me. That if we ask, we are trying to reach out for Paramatma, so we will reach out at some point. It all again depends on all the other factors that we have discussed in the earlier chapters. There should be that prayatna, that abhyasa, that everything. All that should be there. If we simply ask, things won't happen. We have to again do the abhyasa needed to achieve that. So this shloka is talking about people who worship the devatas will obtain whatever phalitam that they are seeking in that worship. Through that, they think that they have reached that devata. You hear many people saying, I have Lakshmi Kataksham, I have Saraswati Kataksham. They keep saying this. Why? Because they think that they have already reached that point with whatever little benefits that they have. They think that they have Lakshmi Kataksham. Why? Maybe because they are blessed with a lot of wealth. That is true. They do have Lakshmi Kataksham, but they also have to realize it is not just Lakshmi that is there. Paramatma in the form of Lakshmi is giving us that wealth. That we have to realize. Until we realize that, we stop there. Once we realize that Paramatma is there, then we move forward in our journey and we reach Paramatma. Then we reach this part. Madbhaktaha mam yanti. They will reach me. Okay. Anantaram Alivelu Bhagini.
Bhagini. यक्तं व्यक्तिमापन्नं मन्यन्ते माम बुद्धयः परं भावमजानन्तो ममाव्ययमनुत्तमम् अव्यक्तं व्यक्तिमापन्नं मन्यन्ते माम बुद्धयः परं भावम् अजानन्तः मम अव्ययम् अनुत्तमम् अव्यक्तं नपुंसकलिङ्गम् व्यक्तं नपुंसकलिङ्गं प्रथमाविभक्ति एकवचनं पुंलिङ्गं
द्वितीयाविभक्ति एकवचनं
पुंलिङ्गं द्वितीयाविभक्ति एकवचनं व्यक्तिमापन्नं
व्यक्तिम इकारांत स्त्रीलिंग द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनम व्यक्तिम we can take it as pumlinga also.
व्यक्तिमापन्नं पुंलिङ्गं द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं मन्यन्ते घट्टकारं मण्धातुः प्रथमपुरुष बहुवचनं माम बुद्धयः
माम
अबुद्धयः माम
अस्मशब्दस्य द्वितीयाविभक्ति एकवचनम् अबुद्धयः प्रथमाविभक्ति बहुवचनं बुद्धिदातवचनं
स्त्रीलिंग बुद्धि इज इकारांत स्त्रीलिंग प्रथमा विभक्ति बहुवचनम
परम
परम अकारांत पुंलिंग द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनम
भावम
also again पुंलिंग द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनम
अजानन्तो अजानन्तः अजानन्तः प्रथमा विभक्ति बहुवचनम् अजानन्तः मम षष्ठीविभक्ति एकवचनम् अव्ययम् अव्ययं पुंलिंग द्वितीया एकवचनम् अनुत्तमम् अनुत्तममपि पुंलिंग द्वितीया एकवचनं सर्वमपि पुंलिंग द्वितीया एकवचनं
కొంచెం వాల్యూమ్ పెంచాలి భగిని ఇవాళ ఎందుకో కొంచెం లైట్ గా వినిపిస్తుంది
కొంచెం తేడాగా ఉంది కొంచెం
ఇప్పుడు బానే
స్పీడ్ గా కొంచెం దూరం ఉన్నట్టుంది ఓకే పదార్థः అబుద్ధయः అవివేకినः మమ మే అనుత్తమం उत्तमोत्तमं परम उत्कृष्टम अव्ययम नाशरहितं भावं स्वरूपम अजानन्तः अविदन्तः अव्यक्तम अप्रकाशम मां व्यक्ति प्रकाशम आपन्नं प्राप्तवन्तं मन्यन्ते चिन्तयन्ति अन्वयः अबुद्धयः मम अनुत्तमं परम अव्ययं भावम् अजानन्तः अव्यक्तं मां व्यक्तिम् आपन्नं मन्यन्ते तात्पर्यम् अविवेकिनः मम उत्तमोत्तमम् उत्कृष्टं नाशरहितं स्वरूपम् अजानन्तः अप्रकाशं मां मत्स्यकूर्मादिरूपेण प्रकाशं प्राप्तवन्तं चिन्तयन्ति व्याकरणं सन्धिः अजानन्तो मम अजानन्तः मम विसर्गसन्धिः तकारः रेफः उकारः गुणः ममाव्ययं मम अव्ययं सवर्णदीर्घसन्धिः समासः अव्यक्तं नाव्यक्तः तम् अनितत्पुरुषः अबुद्धयः न विद्यते बुद्धिः येषां ते बहुव्रीतिः अजानन्तः न जानन्तः नहि तत्पुरुषः धन्यवाद भगिनी
तो क्रियापदं किम् अत्र
मन्यन्ते
कः मन्यन्ते
मन्यन्ते
अजानन्तः अबुद्धयः मन्यन्ते किं मन्यन्ते और कं मन्यन्ते
मां मन्यन्ते
अव्यक्तं मां
मन्यन्ते
व्यक्तिम् आपन्नं मन्यन्ते
आपन्नं मां मन्यन्ते
so here avyaktam means aprakasham vyaktim is prakasham apannam praptavantam so here there are two things avyaktam mam vyaktim apannam manyate so vyaktim means prakasham avyaktam is aprakasham ante mam what kind of me who is not visible I am not visible right so avyaktam mam కనపడని నన్ను కనిపించే ఈ వేరే రూపాలలో చూస్తున్నారు సో people abudhayah people who do not have buddhi or that medhas or jnanam people who do not have the jnanam who do not have the medhas who do not have that intelligence buddhi here is intelligence what are they thinking they are thinking me as these other deities or the other forms avyaktam mam vyaktim apannam manyante so here mam will be the karma padam avyaktam will be visheshana to mam avyaktam mam ఏమనుకుంటున్నారు నన్ను వ్యక్తిం ఆపన్నం మన్యంతే so here apannam will become karma samanadhikaranam And Vyaktim will be Visheshana to Apannam. Vyaktim is Prakasham, Apannam, Praptavantam. So, Avivekinaha Mama Uttamottamam Utkrishtam Nasharahitam Swarupam Ajanantaha, because they do not know my Swarupam, which is Nasharahitam, Avyaktam Mam. Nasharahitam Mama Swarupam Ajanantaha, because they don't know my Swarupam. Aprakasham Mam. Okay, that who is not visible. Aprakasham Mam. Matsya Kurmadi Rupena Prakasham Praptavantam Chintayanti. So they look at these other forms of mine. Okay, Matsya, Kurma, these Dashavataras are there. So they look at these other forms which are visible. So Paramatma is beyond all these rupams. Paramatma is beyond these rupams. These rupams are only again a small amsha of that Paramatma. But what are people thinking? Now, this is the next step. The first step is where people were looking at completely other deities, like Lakshmi, Saraswati, and other deities. But here, they are looking at these Dashavataras and thinking it is the Paramatma himself. But Paramatma is beyond these Dashavataras also. That is what we have to understand here. Abuddhayaha mama anuttamam paramam avyayam bhavam ajanantaha avyaktam mam vyaktim apannam manyante. Okay. Let me quickly see when this is 7th chapter and 24. Apannam, think, mam, param, the highest bhavam. So, in another...
Madam, interrupting. Vyaktim is Prakasham there is telling. Vyaktim actually not physical, invisible form.
Correct.
You want to tell.
Prakasham means that which can be seen.
Seen, huh? So
Avyaktam means that which cannot be seen, unmanifested or manifestation. So when we say can be seen means in a physical form, in some kind of physical form. So say for example, Lord Krishna is there, Lord Rama is there. They at one point of time took a physical form. So what did people think of them? They thought them to be mortal people. They did not realize that beyond this human body, there is Paramatma. They looked at, some people looked at, these avatars like Krishna Avatara or Rama Avatara and all these as human bodies. But that is not what they are. Though they took that avatara for a particular purpose, that is not the real essence of Paramatma. Okay, so there is more to it. There is more to this physical form of Krishna or Rama. There is more to it, and that is not where the Paramatma ends. That is what this shloka is trying to say. So they don't have they don't have the knowledge of this avyaktam rupam. Only this physical rupam they see, and they think that this physical form is only what is the Paramatma, because they do not have the complete knowledge about the Paramatma. So these are again a different set of people who recognize Paramatma, but they think they do not understand the complete what do you call that?
Formation.
Existence, that highest self, that nature of the Paramatma, they don't understand. So they think it is this physical form, but Paramatma is beyond these physical forms of the Dashavataras that are given. Because all these Dashavataras had taken that form at some point, right? They took that physical body to accomplish a task. So some people who do not have the knowledge of Paramatma think that that is it. That is where the Paramatma ends. They don't realize that Paramatma is way beyond that. And he only took this form to achieve a particular task. So he's more than that, they don't realize. So those are Ajnanis. Like say, for example, in Mahabharata, we have many such people. They don't realize that Krishna is the Paramatma himself, who came in this form to, do some job here on the earth. They look at Krishna as just a mortal. They don't realize he is the form of Paramatma, like that. Okay. So coming back to our shloka, the second part. So mama anuttamam avyayam bhavam param bhavam ajanantah. So not knowing my anuttamam avyayam bhavam, paramam bhavam. They think that I am the physical form. Vyaktim apannam manyante. So here these are all paramam bhavam, avyayam anuttamam param bhavam, ajanantah abuddhayah mam apannam manyante. Avyaktam mam vyaktim apannam manyante. So these people not knowing my indestructible form. They think that I am just this physical body. Okay. Anantaram Rama Bhagini patitum ichchati va?
Madam, I will try. I will try, madam.
Yes, please.
नाहं प्रकाशः सर्वस्य योगमाया समावृतः मूढोऽयं नाभिजानाति लोको मामजमव्ययम् न अहं प्रकाशः सर्वस्य योगमाया समावृतः मूढः अयं न अभिजानाति लोकः माम् अजम् अव्ययम् न अव्ययम् अहम् अस्मद् शब्दस्य प्रथम एकवचनं प्रकाशः क्रियापदम्
पुंलिङ्ग प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं
सर्वस्य षष्ठी विभक्ति एकवचनं योगमाया समावृतः षष्ठी विभक्ति एकवचनं
प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं
मूढः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं अयं मकारान्तः इदं शब्दस्य पुंलिङ्ग एकवचनं न अव्ययम् अभिजानाति क्रियापदं लट्लकारं प्रथम एकवचनं प्रथमपुरुष एकवचनं लोकः प्रथमपुरुष एकवचनं प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं लोकः
प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं पुंलिङ्ग
माम् अस्मद् शब्दस्य द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं अजं द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं
यस् द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं अव्ययम्
अव्ययं द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं
that also द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं अजम् अव्ययं माम् they both are visheshanas to mam so द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं
अभिजानाति जन् धातु वाक्यम्
अभिजानाति ज्ञा धातु knowing ज्ञा धातु
योगमाया पदार्थः योगमाया समावृतः इच्छादीनां मायया आच्छन्नः अहं सर्वस्य सकलस्य लोकस्य न प्रकाशः न प्रकटः मूढः मूर्खः अयं लोकः एषः जनः अव्ययं नाशरहितम् अजम् उत्पत्तिविहीनं मां न अभिजानाति न वेत्ति अन्वयः योगमाया समावृतः अहं सर्वस्य न प्रकाशः मूढः अयं लोकः अव्ययम् अजं मां न अभिजानाति तात्पर्यम् संकल्पाधीनाय मायया समावृतः अहं सकलस्य लोकस्य दृष्टिगोचरः न भवामि केषाञ्चिदेव दृष्टिगोचरो भवामि मूढः तु अयं जनः नाशरहितम् उत्पत्तिरहितं च मां न जानाति माध्वमतं योगमाया समावृतः भगवतः समार्थ्ये
सामर्थ्ये
सामर्थ्ये लक्षणोपायेन त्रिगुणात्मिकया मायया समावृतः भगवान् सर्वस्य ज्ञानविषयः न भवति रामानुजीयमतं योगमाया क्षेत्रज्ञ साधारण मनुष्यत्वादि संस्थान योगाख्या माया
क्षेत्रज्ञ असाधारण मनुष्यत्वादि संस्थान योगाख्या माया
ఇట్ మీన్స్ అంటే యోగమాయకి అర్థం అండి ఇదంతాను
Yoga Maya ki artham. That is nothing but Maya basically. Why is it called Yoga Maya? Is because it is created by Paramatma himself. That is why it is called Yoga Maya. And it is Yuktaha. It is actually Yoga Maya. The Maya is none other than that which is created by Paramatma, and it is there in Paramatma also. But Paramatma is not affected by it. Only we are affected by Maya. So this Maya is, it is also Trigunatmikam, and it is created by the Paramatma himself. He tells that in some other shloka, right? Earlier, we studied that, I think, last week. So that Maya also is his creation only. So that is why it is called Yoga Maya. Daivi, it is even described as Daivi, because it is created by Paramatma himself. Anantaram Vyakaranam.
వ్యాకరణం సంధి నా నాహం నా ప్లస్ అహం సవర్ణ దీర్ఘ సంధి మూఢోయం మూఢః ప్లస్ అయం విసర్గ సంధి సకారః రేపః ఉకారః గుణః పూర్వరూపం చ నాభిజానాతి నా అభిజానాతి సవర్ణ దీర్ఘ సంధి లోకో మమ లోకః మమ విసర్గ సంధి సకారః रेफः उकारः गुणः समासः योगमाया समावृतः योगाधीना माया योगमाया मध्यमपदलोपी तत्पुरुषः योगमायया समावृतः तृतीया तत्पुरुषः पृदन्तः प्रकाशः प्र प्लस काश प्लस अच कर्तरि प्रकाशते इति प्रकाशः
तो अत्र अभिजानाति इति क्रियापदम् कः अभिजानाति
मूढः न अभिजानाति
sorry न अभिजानाति is the kriyapadam so कः न अभिजानाति मूढः अयं लोकः न अभिजानाति मूढः अयं लोकः कं न अभिजानाति
अव्ययम्
अव्ययम् अजं माम् अभिजानाति so this foolish world is not able to see me, is not able to know me. Ajam avyayam mam na abhijanati. So yogamaya samavritah aham sarvasya prakashah bhavami. Here bhavami, na bhavami actually.
Na prakashah.
So what is the anvaya here? 20. Yogamaya samavritah aham sarvasya na prakashah. So here, though it is given like that, we can take na prakashah na bhavami. So bhavami we can take as adhyahritam. So yogamaya samavritaha aham sarvasya prakashah na bhavami. Sarvasya means sakalasya lokasya, prakashah prakataha means I am not visible. I am not visible. Visible to whom? To the moodaha. Why? Because I am covered with this yogamaya. I am engulfed in this yogamaya. That is why the moodaha is not able to see me. If a buddhiman can see me, I am engulfed in this yogamaya to everybody. Like I am engulfed in this yogamaya. Only the buddhiman can see me. A moodaha cannot see me. I am always engulfed in Maya, but only people who practice to understand the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, they will be able to see me. They will overlook the Maya and they will be able to see me. Whereas Moodaha cannot see me. So that is what this shloka says. So Yoga Maya Samavritaha. So he is engulfed in this Yoga Maya. And what is this Yoga Maya? This Yoga Maya is also made out of the Trigunas. So, and we are also made out of Trigunas. The Prapancha, the Loka is also made out of Trigunas. So we have to overcome the Trigunatmika Yoga Maya to see the Paramatma who is beyond that. And what is this Yoga Maya? And who can overlook this Yoga Maya? Who is seeking the highest knowledge? Only he will be able to overlook this Yoga Maya. So there is a small thing regarding this. So when the great Maharshis are performing yagas, there will be what do you say that they have to say why they are performing that yaga. Okay, they have to say. So one of the Maharshis will ask, why are we performing this yaga, which is also sometimes called as a sama. Okay, why are we performing this sama? So the other Maharshi has to say the purpose of that particular yaga. So in one such thing, the one of the Maharshis will say, I am lokaha. Okay, so the question will be ka samno gatihi. So what is the purpose of this sama? What is the purpose of this sama? So he says, I am lokaha. One of the Maharshis will say. So the other Maharshi will say, no, don't stop it at this I am lokaha. It has to go beyond that. We are not performing this yaga to understand this world. We have to go beyond that. And what is beyond that? It is considered as akashaha. Akashaha is not just the akasha that we see. Here it means Paramatma. Means it is like Anantam. And what is Anantam? Only and everywhere. Akasha is everywhere. The reason why Akasha got that name also is for the same reason. There is no place where there is no Akasha. Means it is like Sarvavyapi. So it also represents Paramatma. So the Maharshi says, like when we are performing a yaga, we should not have smaller goals. We should have the biggest goal, which is nothing other than understanding Paramatma, knowing Paramatma. So that is how it should be. So here, though he is covered in the Maya, we should perform each action to realize the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. So here, how one can be immersed in their own bhavas. Also, a small humorous story is told. So Narada is there, and there is another Maharshi like Narada who is called Tumburaha. Okay, so both of them do the Veena Nadam, and Tumburaha is supposed to be better than Narada in that Tumbura in that Veena Vadyam. But Narada thinks, but Tumbura has a Ashvamukham. So it looks a little like a monkey face. And Narada always feels that since he has, Devamsha, and he's the son of Brahma, he looks handsome than Tumbura. So he thinks that because of his beauty, his Veenanadam is better than Tumbura. So he does not accept the fact that Tumbura is better than him. And but that constant struggle is there to prove himself better than Tumbura. So once he thinks I am very handsome, so let me prove my that I am better than Tumbura. So he goes to the earth, onto the earth. There will be a Swayamvaram happening, and this Swayamvaram is in a Maharshi's ashramam. So there he goes, and a Munikanya will be there who is supposed to select a Maharshi of her choice. Only Maharshis are allowed for this Swayamvaram. Narada has no intention of marrying anybody, but he goes there to see if that Munikanya will come and choose him. It will be only because he is handsome, and then he can prove that he is handsome. For that reason, he will go there. But people around him will be looking at him and laughing among themselves. So he won't understand why they are doing that, but he doesn't care at that point of time. So the Munikanya actually will go and choose somebody else other than Narada. So he will wonder how come she chose somebody else. They are not as handsome as I am. And then again, everybody will start laughing at him. And then he will not understand why they are laughing. So when he asks, they will say, "You with your monkey face, how can you even come to a Swayamvaram and expect somebody to choose you?" So he will think, how can I have a monkey face? I'm very handsome. I'm Brahmaputra. And so he goes to a nearby lake and he will look at his Pratibimbam. And he will in fact see a monkey face. So then he will wonder, how did I get this monkey face? So he will straight go to Lord Vishnu and he will ask, how do I get this? How did I get this monkey face? So then the Paramatma will say, so you are consumed by this bhavam that Tumbura is monkey faced and you are handsome. You are so much consumed in that thought that that thought became you. So sometimes we see that also. We are so much consumed in something that we deviate away from who we are. Our original nature sometimes will be masked by these other things that we temporarily are surrounded with, right? So such things also will this Maya can have that kind of effect on us. If we are lost in that Maya, it will take away our complete nature. Okay, we can change into becoming something else if we are consumed in that, in jealousy, in anger, in such things. So we always have to question ourselves. Where are we? How are we? What are we thinking? How are we dealing this situation? Am I still being balanced, or am I being carried away by the temporary situations around us, or is our ego taking over our judgment? Sometimes such things happen, right? So constantly we have to be checking. Otherwise, there is a danger of we becoming that quality that we become turn into a person of that nature, which we do not desire and which is really not our nature. We are only taken away by these because Narada is constantly worried about the that Tumbura is better than him. He is trying to find fault with him. So he is focusing more on the lesser qualities of Tumbura rather than his positive qualities. So he is so consumed in proving that he became into that. So this example is given only for us to understand that when we try to think more about other things, or trying to bring down other people, then such bad qualities, if unknowingly, will come into us and will become into that kind of personality, which we do not want to actually. But sometimes we can get carried away by that. That is only Maya. So we have to be very careful about taken over by the Maya, and we have to constantly check ourselves so we don't, so that we overcome this Maya. And those are all the effects of Maya. So we can be consumed in those things. So Maya can be very dangerous if we don't keep a tab on it. We have to constantly check ourselves and see that we are not falling prey for it. Always remember the Paramatma Tattvam, and then we can overcome the Maya. Okay. Anantaram. Punaha Lakshminarayan Mahodaya.
पठामि वा?
Patatu Mahodaya.
वेदाहं समतीतानि वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन भविष्याणि च भूतानि मां तु वेद न कश्चन. वेद अहं समतीतानि वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन भविष्याणि च भूतानि मां तु वेद न कश्चन. वेद अत्र क्रियापदं किल? विद्धातु उत्तमपुरुष एकवचन. अहं अस्मत् शब्द प्रथमविभक्ति एकवचन. समतीतानि समतीतान् एतत्तु नपुंसकलिङ्गं वा?
नपुंसकं द्वितीया विभक्ति
बहुवचनं. अच्छा, फलं फले फलानि द्वितीय. वर्तमाने वर्तमानानि वर्तमानमपि नपुंसकलिङ्ग द्वितीया विभक्ति बहुवचन. च अव्ययम् अर्जुन संबोधन विभक्ति प्रथम एकवचन. भविष्याणि भविष्याणि अपि द्वितीया विभक्ति बहुवचनमेव. च अव्ययं भूतानि भूताः भूतम् अतः स्वीकरणीयं नपुंसकलिङ्गं वा? तो द्वितीया विभक्ति बहुवचनमेव. माम् अस्मत् शब्द द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचन. तु अव्ययं वेद पुनः विद्धातु उत्तमपुरुष एकवचन. न अव्ययं
प्रथमपुरुष
अत्र वेद जानातः एवं वा? वेद सत्यं.
प्रथमपुरुष वा उत्तमपुरुष वा?
तत्र वेद अहं तत्
उत्तमपुरुष एव.
उत्तमपुरुष.
अत्र
अर्जुन मां वेद उत्तमपुरुष. सारी मध्यमपुरुष. उत्तमपुरुष न मध्यमपुरुष. अर्जुन मां वेद.
यू अंडरस्टैंड.
सो मध्यमपुरुष एकवचन.
कश्चन तत्र पदार्थः अहं परमेश्वरः अहं समतीतानि अतिक्रान्तानि वर्तमानानि च भविष्याणि च आगामीनि अपि भूतानि स्थावरजङ्गमानि वेद जानामि अस्ति अत्र. मां तु परमेश्वरं तु कश्चन कोऽपि न वेद न जानाति. विद्धातु लकारे पश्यम्. अस्तु, अनन्तरं पश्यामि. अन्वय. हे अर्जुन, अहं समतीतानि वर्तमानानि च भविष्याणि च भूतानि वेद. मां तु कश्चन न वेद.
Kashchana is linked here.
न वेद.
So here also it is Prathama Purusha Ekavachana only. Not Madhyama Purusha.
That's right.
Because Kashchana Mam Veda. Na Veda. Nobody knows me. Kashchana. No one knows me. So
one place it is Uttam Purusha, one place is Prathama Purusha.
Second one is Prathama Purusha. Yeah. Okay. So here the first Veda
is Uttam Purusha.
Suppose they are given the exam Veda, which Purusha, if they ask, we have to write in with
then Vidhatu you have to
So Bhagini is asking, because it is there in both, which one should we write if only one word is given?
Both also you have to write.
Both you can write. Either one you write also will be correct only.
Okay.
Patatu Mahoday.
अन्वयः अन्वय ओवर् तात्पर्यं हे अर्जुन अहम् अतिक्रान्तानि वर्तमानानि आगामीनि अपि सर्वाण्यपि भूतानि जानामि मां तु कोऽपि न जानाति व्याकरणं सन्धि एकमेव वेदाहं वेद प्लस् अहं सवर्णदीर्घसन्धि अत्र क्रियापदं वेद द्विवारम् अस्ति पृथक् पृथक् अस्ति
So here kriyapadam veda prathamam kriyapadam veda so atra kartrupadam kim aham veda aham kani veda
समतीतानि वेद अति वर्तमानानि वेद भविष्याणि च वेद.
So all these samatitani vartamanani bhavishyani bhutani aham veda. Aham bhutani veda kidrishani bhutani samatitani bhutani vartamanani bhutani bhavishyani bhutani. I know everything that is in the past, present and in the future. So I know, like you are here, Arjuna is here. I know who you are in your past life. I know who you are going to be in your next life. Like that, I know about every being. I know who they are and what they are going to be. Why? Because I am the one who keeps tab on your karmas. The good karmas, bad karmas. Only the Paramatma has the capacity of giving the result of our karmas. When we perform a particular karma, whether good or bad or neutral, what kind of consequence we are going to have for the karmas that we perform can only be determined by the Paramatma. If we do good karma, depending on what kind of good karma, what kind of benefit that we will get is determined by Paramatma. Similarly, if we do a bad karma, and depending on what kind of bad karma, how much of difficulty we have to face because of that will also be determined by Paramatma. And because he has all that knowledge, he knows who we are in our past lives and who we are going to be in our bhavishyat. So aham samatitani vartamanani bhavishyani bhutani veda. Kaschana veda. He knows everything, but nobody knows him, right? We don't know who Paramatma is in the... He does not have so many lives. He is Nitya because he is Nitya. But even otherwise, we don't know. We don't know how Paramatma came into existence, his actions. We don't know much about him. What we have to understand is that there is Paramatma in everything. That is as much as we need to understand. Beyond that, we don't know. Realizing this itself is impossible. And again, knowing more about him is beyond any kind of possibility. So nobody knows me, but I know everything, the present, past, and the future. Aham samatitani vartamanani means atikrantani vartamanani agamini api sarvanyapi bhutani janami. Mam tu kaha api na janati. But nobody knows me. Astu. Anantaram. Savitri Bhagini.
इच्छा द्वेष समुत्थेन द्वन्द्वमोहेन भारत सर्वभूतानि सम्मोहं सर्गे यान्ति परन्तप. इच्छा द्वेष समुत्थेन द्वन्द्वमोहेन भारत सर्वभूतानि सम्मोहं सर्गे यान्ति परन्तप. इच्छा द्वेष समुत्थेन तृतीया विभक्ति एकवचन. द्वन्द्वमोहेन That is also Tritiya Vibhakti Ekavachana. Bharata, Sambodhana Prathama Vibhakti. Sarva Bhutani, Prathama Vibhakti, Bahuvachana. Sammoham, Tritiya Vibhakti Ekavachana. Sarge, Saptami Vibhakti Ekavachana. Yanti, Yadhatu.
Latlakara, Prathama Purusha, Bahuvachana.
Bahuvachana. Parantapa, Sambodhana Prathama Vibhakti. Padartha. Bharata, Arjuna, Parantapa, Shatrutapana, Parantapa, Shatrutapana, Sarge, Dohotpattau, Satyam, Dehotpattau, Satyam, Sarva Bhutani, Bhuta Jatam, Ichhadvesha Samuthena, Ragadvesha Sambhutena, Dvandvamohena, Dvandvavyamohena, Sammoham, Moodhatvam, Yanti, Labhante, Anvaya. Bharata, Parantapa, Sarge Sarva Bhutani, Ichhadvesha Samuthena, Dvandvamohena, Sammoham, Yanti. Tatparya. Yada sthula dehasya utpattihi bhavati tadaiva vishayeshu ragaha deshascha sambhavati. Tena cha shitoshna sukha dukkadi dvandvat jatena vivekanashena aham sukhi aham dukhi iti janantaha sarvepi praninaha moham आपन्नाः मां न जानन्ति. व्याकरणं. समासः. इच्छाद्वेषसमुत्थेन. इच्छा च द्वेषश्च. इच्छाद्वेषौ द्वन्द्वसमासः. इच्छाद्वेषाभ्यां समुत्थः तेन. तृतीया तत्पुरुष. द्वन्द्वमोहेन. द्वन्द्वानां मोहः तेन. षष्ठी तत्पुरुष समास. तावदेव.
So अत्र क्रियापदं यान्ति.
यान्ति.
कानि यान्ति?
मां सर्वभूतानि इच्छाद्वेषसमुत्थेन द्वन्द्वमोहेन समूहं यान्ति. यस्. सर्वभूतानि
कां यान्ति?
सम्मोहं यान्ति.
So केन सम्मोहं यान्ति?
इच्छाद्वेषसमुत्थेन द्वन्द्वमोहेन.
Because of these two, they are confused. Yes. And another thing, sarge is dehotpattau satyam. Dehotpattau means being in this physical body. Yada sthula dehasya utpattihi bhavati tadaiva vishayeshu ragaha dveshascha sambhavati. Tena cha shitoshna sukha dukkhadi द्वन्द्वात् जातेन विवेकनाशेन अहं सुखी अहं दुःखी इति जानन्तः सर्वेपि प्राणिनः मोहम् आपन्नाः मां न जानन्ति. So as long as we acquire this body, sarge, as long as the jiva is in this...
samaye, is it? Sarge? Srishti samaye.
Srishti samaye we can take, and as long as somebody is in that physical body. Not only in the Srushti Samayam, after the Srushti happens, there will be lives and rebirths. So whenever a jiva takes a body, it will be affected by this Ichhadvesham. That Dvandva Moham will be there. Until that jiva obtains the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, this Dvandva Moham will be there, Ichhadvesha will be there. And because of these two, this Sammoham, this confusion will be there to the Sarva Bhutani. So what is this Dvandva Moham and Ichhadvesha Samuttena? What is this Ichhadvesha? Now we are here. We are feeling very, very cold. So we think, oh, this cold is not good. When will this cold weather stop? When will it start getting warm? So here now, right now, we have a liking towards warmth and dislike towards the cold.
Yes.
And once it is a summer, again it will change. We will think, oh, it is too hot. When will the weather cool down a little bit?
Yes.
So there the Ichha is towards the cold weather and Dvesha is towards the hot weather.
Hot
So
weather.
it's constantly changing based on the factors around us, which is fine. But basically, this Ichha Dvesha will be there constantly. This is a general small example based on the like the physical attributes of the weather. But sometimes we can have such feelings towards people, other people also. Like again, taking the story of Dhruva. With Dhruva, what happened? Initially, he did not like his stepmother because she asked him to get off his father's lap. So he goes, he performs his tapas, he gets the blessings of Lord Vishnu, and he will come back to his kingdom. On the way to perform his tapas, we discussed this story earlier. Narada will come and come across him and he will say, "You are such a young boy. Why do you need to perform tapas at this age?" So he will say, "No, no, no. My stepmother asked me to get the pratyaksham of
God.
Vishnu. So I am on that task." So Narada says, "See, you are a Kshatriya. You cannot have such ragadveshas or so much of, you should be able to take any kind of insult. Because you are a king, you have to put up with so many things. You cannot become like this. So, and especially perform tapas at such a young age." So he does not understand why he says that at that point of time and he moves forward. "I already made my decision. I cannot go back," and he will move forward. And finally, he will attain Vishnu. Vishnu will come, but he will not offer him moksha. Okay, he will only bless him and send him back. So then he will wonder on his way back, he will wonder, why did Narada Maharshi say, why did he discourage me from performing the tapas? And Lord Vishnu, he is pleased with me, with my tapas. But then why didn't he offer moksha? And I myself, why did I not ask him for moksha? Why did I, just took his blessings and came back? So all these questions are constantly there on his mind. So when he comes back, the whole kingdom will come, the people will come to receive him. So as he is looking, he will see his stepmother right there in front of the crowd and she will be crying. So she will say, "I am very, very sorry that I have hurt you. My intention was not that to hurt you. The younger my son is younger than you. Since he's younger than you and he's already sitting on his father's lap, I just didn't want you to move him away because he's younger than you. Otherwise, I have nothing against you. Both of you have the same father, so you have equal right to be on his lap. I am sorry if I hurt you." So he will be surprised because he went just based on her words. He went and performed all this tapas and all. So, anyways, he will feel bad for holding that anger against her. So what he will do, he will turn all that anger into love on his brother. So he will start loving him more. He thinks to overcome the mistake that he has done, having this anger towards his stepmother. He feels bad. So to compensate for it, he will be showering love on his brother. By showering, because he's the king now, he will be showering all his love on the brother. He will not say anything to him. Let him do whatever he want. He will not say. So what happens when somebody is given that kind of freedom? They will start doing wrong things. People should always need rules. Without rules, it is very easy for a person to fall into the wrong path. So the brother will fall into that wrong path because no, his own brother, who is the king, is not stopping him. He's only supporting him. So he starts doing all sorts of bad things, getting into fights with people for no reason, all this. So once like that, he will go and get into a fight with some yakshas. So the yakshas will, they are very powerful people. So they get angry and they kill this brother. So now Dhruva will come to know of this, and he will go to a war with the yakshas. And the king of yakshas is none other than Kubera. So this Kubera, he's a sadhu. He's very powerful. He has an army of yakshas and very powerful, but he's a sadhu svabhava. So he doesn't really want to perform this war. But what will you do when somebody comes to war with you? You have to defend, at least defend yourself. So he will be defending, making sure that, big damage is not happening. But still, because this is a war, there will still be some casualties. So then that night, it will be the end of the day. The war will stop for the night. So Dhruva will be resting, and then he will see his forefathers in his dream. So they will say, "What are you doing? What kind of a person were you? And now what are you doing? You pampered your brother to the point where he started doing all the wrong things. And because of that, he faced this situation and he died. And now, unreasonably, you have come to war with these people without even finding out why they killed your brother. This is very unjust. As a king, you are doing so many mistakes." So then he says, "Yes, I realize that, but what can I do now? I cannot back off because I started the war. How can I back off now?" So then the forefathers will tell, see, in the first place, the war that you started is not meaningful. There is no proper reason for you to start this war. So it is never too late to end such a war, which has no purpose. You just think of Kubera in your mind. He will come and end the war. So he will think of Kubera in his mind, and Kubera immediately appears before him, and he will say, "Let us stop this war right here. And because you have come forward to do this, I will give you something in compensation." So basically, Kuberan is very powerful. That is what even the forefathers will tell. See, if he really wants to, he can defeat you in no time. He is very powerful. The only reason he did not do that is because of his swabhava. So the mistake is on your side, but still he will end the war if you intend to. So the intention should come from your side. So then he realizes that, and he will end the war and go back to his kingdom, and he will overcome his ragadveshas. Then he will think. So initially, he will look at his life. Initially, as at a very young age, he had this anger on his stepmother. Because of that, he went to perform the tapas. He comes back from the tapas. Then he feels bad for holding anger against his mother. So he will turn that into love onto his brother. But then that is also not justified, though loving somebody is okay, but not to the point where they are destroyed. So his love only destroyed his brother's life. So because of that, he again got angry on the yakshas, and again he went to war. So his whole life, he did not do really nothing productive in that aspect because of the ragadveshas. Of course, he's a very great king. He did many yagas and all. That is a different story. But because of these ragadveshas, there are certain demerits to what he has done as a king and as a person who has performed such great tapas and got the pratyaksham of Lord Vishnu. He should have more control over his ragas and dveshas. But those are the ones. So this Maya or these ragadveshas can be so powerful that they can take over even the mind of the people who had such kind of sadhana. At that young age, performing that kind of tapas is not easy. But for such a person's mind also, this ragadvesha, he became a slave to these ragadveshas. And because of that, he lost his brother in the process. So this ragadveshas should be taken over. Only then one can reach Vaikuntha. So he also will practice that and he will reach Vaikuntha eventually the minute he realizes that he has to overcome the Ragadvesha and look at everybody and look at Paramatma in everybody. He will practice that and obtain the Paramatma. So, so here also this shloka is talking about that. Okay, whenever we have this Ragadvesha, whenever a jiva acquires a body, it is very natural for it to also get this raga and dvesha. Because again, all these raga and dvesha are, what do you say, trigunatmika. Because of these trigunas only, we get this raga and dvesha and other,
Qualities.
qualities. So, and our body is also made out of the trigunas. So it is very natural for us to be taken over by these trigunas, and our judgment also, and other aspects of our life also can be taken over by the trigunas. Maya itself is trigunatmika. So we have to overcome this Maya and the Ragadvesha, all which are trigunatmika, to reach Paramatma. So that is why this shloka explains about how this Ichcha and Dvesha, Dvandva Mohena, this is constantly there. The Ragadvesha, Ichcha, Dvesha, this is constantly, the mind is going back and forth. So we have to find a balance. We should not have Raga as well as Dvesha. We should not have too much of Ichcha or too much of Dvesha. We have to find a balance, that neutral mind should be there. We should be able to take any situation neutrally. We should not favor one over the other. Temporarily, we have to protect ourselves from some extremities. We have to take precaution for that. But our mind should always be in that, see, it is cold, so I need to protect my sharira from this cold. That's all. We should not develop a dvesha towards it. Because tomorrow we might need again that same cold weather when it is too hot. So that balance we should see. We should be able to see through each. We should not fall prey or slave to these ragadveshas. So that is what this shloka is talking about. And only that kind of person who finds a balance will be able to reach the Paramatma. And here Bharata and Parantapa are the Sambodhana words used for Arjuna. One is, and every time this Sambodhana, if we see, it is related to how that shloka or what that shloka is trying to tell us. So here it is about moham, right? Overcoming the moham. And such a kind of how do you say, teachings are there only in our Bharata Desha, we can tell. So reminding him, as you are the product of this kind of vamsham, that is one way of reminding. So all these teachings come only in our Shastras. So reminding again Arjuna that you belong to this land. So you can acquire these qualities. And the other one is Parantapa, destroyer of the enemies. Here the enemies should be considered as these Ragadveshas and Sukha Dukkhas.
Oh, okay.
In that way, everywhere, if you observe the Sambodhana of both Krishna and Arjuna, they keep changing and they very much relate to the meaning that shloka is trying to convey.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we shall stop here. Bhagini, Alivelu Bhagini.
आं भगिनि। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। धन्यवाद भगिनी, नमस्कारः। सर्वेभ्यः धन्यवादः, नमस्कारः।
धन्यवादः भगिनी।
धन्यवादः भगिनी। गुड नाइट।
सर्वेभ्यः शुभरात्रि।